All right, welcome to another episode of the Swank Golf Podcast. We got a good one today. Today we're gonna do something a little different. It's gonna be just me today. But after my last interview with Kurt, he briefly touched on his first 18, which made me think back to my first 18 holes, and it made me kind of want to talk about it for multiple reasons. One reason is one thing that I know, and when I speak to others, golf can seem very intimidating, as if it's a game only for certain people, right? And that makes certain people feel uncomfortable when they get into a new space. And I think that's the one thing that keeps people from venturing off into this sport. And I'm no different. My first time playing golf, not even playing golf, my first time playing 18 holes was very intimidating. I'm going to take you back. At this time, I want to say that I didn't have the bug, all right? I did have clubs, but I didn't have the bug. At this time, I probably went to the driving range maybe 2 times, and I think I played 9 holes once at this time, maybe about 5 years ago. Well, no, more than that, man. We're talking six years ago. A coworker of mine heard that I had got some clubs, and he invited me out. And at that time, I was super excited because, I couldn't see myself just showing up to a golf course and playing by myself. Especially at that time, I didn't know the etiquette, I didn't know the rules, I didn't know anything. So I had a coworker who was willing to take me out, and I was pumped. This guy, he was younger than me, really good guy, good coworker. And he invited me out. We played at this course called Chabot. It's in the Bay Area, right outside of San Francisco. Beautiful course. From what I know now, this course is also a very challenging course. At the time, I couldn't judge what was a challenging course, what was an easy course, what was beautiful, or what wasn't. But me knowing what I know now, Chabot is a beautiful course. So let's set the scene for my first 18. Now, again, the reason I'm telling you guys this because, playing 18 holes might seem very intimidating, but we all have to get that cherry pop, okay? You got to just get out there and just dive in, all right? Now, I'm going to tell you my first story, my first time out there, and it was an experience. So we'll call him Jay. Jay invites me out, and I made a big mistake straight from the beginning, okay? And I know to all my golfers out there, this sounds like something that's a no-brainer. But for me, it wasn't. So your tee time, okay? Your tee time is the time that you should be, that you and your foursome should be at the tee box, swinging your club and hitting the ball. That is your tee time. I did not know that, okay? And my coworker at the time, Jay, did not tell me. He kind of assumed that I knew the rules of golf. Honestly, I believe he just wanted to get me out there and beat me really bad. So I didn't really know the rules of golf. So my tee time, let's call it 9:30. I'm in the parking lot at 9:30, parking my car at 9:30. I'm thinking that this is the time that I arrive. This is our, kind of like reservations for a restaurant. You don't start eating right at the reservation time. So that was my mistake, and I learned the hard way. As I'm getting out of the car and I'm getting my clubs, mind you, they're terrible clubs, terrible bag, just looking like a beginner, which is fine. That's how you start. You have to start somewhere. So again, don't think when you first start that you need the best equipment, the best bag, the best anything. You just need to be able to participate. So I showed up. I'm late. I'm hopping through the parking lot, putting one of my cleats on. I finally make it up to the tee box. there's like 3 other groups waiting because now we're encroaching on their tee times. The coworker, he brought a friend with him who, mind you, he didn't speak to me the entire day. This guy, he didn't say anything to me. He might have said hello and shook my hand in the beginning, but after that, he didn't say anything to me. So I get up to the tee box and take my first swing. Okay, mind you, this is 2 driving range session and a 9-hole in. Man, I missed the ball. I have 2 groups waiting for me. I missed the ball, whiffed it, just missed it. All right, I'm feeling a little embarrassed by this time. So I get the ball again. I tee it up. At this time, I have on these headphones. They're not wired headphones, but they're the wireless headphones that connect in the back, if you know what I'm talking about. I had a pair of those on. And on my second swing, when I swung, somehow they like wrapped around my neck. And like the ball went like 2 feet. And, the groups behind me that are trying to tee off, I see that they're getting frustrated. The guy that I came out there with, him and his partner, believe it or not, they drove off. To go start finding their balls. So mind you, this is my first time and I was invited by this guy. And he left me. So this is one tip I want to give you. When you go on your first round of 18, try to go with some people that some people that are willing to help you, some people who are willing to give a helping hand out there, because it is a tough game. There's a lot of rules and it can be intimidating. So being with a group that is willing to help you would definitely make you feel comfortable. So I end up just picking my ball up and hopping in my cart. Man, what an introduction. This day was brutal. Like, I didn't know. I understood that the game was hard because of me going to the range. But, when you have a hole that's 550, 600 yards away and these super long par 5s and super long par 4s, and you're really, really new to the game, it's hard to get up and down the course, let alone score. And then if you don't have anyone with you who's willing to almost hold your hand a little bit and let you know, like, hey, maybe you should pick that ball up, or hey, this is what you're doing, give you a little tip, or hey, just hop in the car, drop over there where I am. If you don't have that, it's kind of hard to get through the day and kind of enjoy it. So my big recommendation is, when you do play your first 18, make sure that you're with a group of people that you like to spend time with, and a group of people who you think would be willing to help you, especially if they invite you out. So I'm struggling, okay? Let's say we get to the turn, man, around the 9th hole. The coworker tells me, hey, man, I'm not feeling well. I'm going to head out. Mind you, Chabot is a beautiful course. I haven't talked to the guy since, and I really feel like, I think he left because he could not take waiting for me to hit the ball all day long. I feel like I was slowing up the play so much that this guy was willing to waste his $80 to $100 at the course and just leave by the 9th hole. Now, what that did for me, because I'm not 100% that he left for that reason. He could have been feeling, bad. But what that did for me, it lit the fire to the point where, hey, I am going to get better at this game. I being embarrassed and not feeling like you can do something, that doesn't sit well with me. That competitive nature inside of me made me hit the driving range. It made me really get back after it. I did take a step back after that 18 and kind of reevaluate if I want to get into this game. But after, thinking about it a little bit, I dove back in eventually. Like I told you, the COVID wave is what really gave me the time to get addicted almost to the game. Like, that's where the addiction came. But that first interaction with a coworker of mine when I played 18, that right there left a taste in my mouth that I had to get out. And, I'm super glad that I did end up going out with that coworker, because I really got a chance to experience a real course right from the bat. Like I said, it was a brutal awakening of how that day went, but after that, I knew exactly what to expect. I knew exactly what time to show up. I knew, what type of pressure, what pressure you might feel at the first tee box. I understood, where the turn is, 9 holes, a par four, par five. Like, I understood all of that my next time going out, and that made me feel more comfortable. But, you just got to rip the Band-Aid off, okay, and just go. And the thing about it is, the more you practice, the more comfortable you get with your clubs and with the game, then you'll be able to get out, play 18, and just really enjoy everything. Whereas more than just the game, the camaraderie that we talk about, sharing with your friends and the weather and being outside, all of those things, that's when it comes into play. When you feel just comfortable being on the course and you can accept that this game is hard, this game might go the way I want it to go, and it might not go the way that I want it to go. Once you can accept that, then you can get out there and really enjoy all the other amenities that golf brings. And like I said, I tell you guys all the time on the show that this game, I'm glad that I, dove into it, because it's brought so much value to my life. And, I can't wait to just continue it. So, that right there was my story on my first 18. And honestly, I want to hear more stories about people's first 18s, the good, the bad, and the ugly. So until then, I'll see you guys on the next show. We're just now getting into the off season. It's getting pretty cold. So, hey, get that work in and let's rev up for the next one.